Well, hello. So, I am a new YouTuber, right? And I just wanted to make videos about the things that I love. Some of those are poetry, some of those are books, literature, others are just, well, I don't know, earphones, earbuds, I have my tech um, fixations, my tech obsessions. But something that I do love, and I love like watches and other random stuff, but something that I do love is fountain pens. Well, now I have 39 fountain pens in my collection, and I still manage to use all of them at once, and I do not know how do I do that. It's amazing because I know that there are people on YouTube, that do fountain pen content, fountain pen related content, and those people, like they say, oh, I have 40, 50, whatever fountain pens, but I only use five at once or 10 at once, because I like to have a broad and all, extra fine all the way to extra broad, to double broad and whatever. And then like to have different colors and whatnot. So I have like 10 or 12 fountain pens, something on that range, And recently, I just got two pens. One was a Christmas gift, I looked at my mom, I said, Mom, have you bought anything yet? And she said, No, I haven't. And I said, Mama, would you care to give me a fountain pen? And she said, No, no, I would not mind at all. Where's the fountain pen? I said, It's in AliExpress. So, what did I do? I entered AliExpress. By the way, I'm Brazilian, so fountain pens in Brazil are quite costly, So, for example, what do I use for ink? Food coloring. Because the amount of money that you have to pay for a bottle of ink, is just insane. Like a black ink that I found that suits me well, and I'm a cheapskate, so sort of maybe somewhat a cheapskate, but an ink that I found suits me well. It's this ink for how do you call it again? I forgot about that. When you get something and you ink it up and you put it on paper and it leaves the mark. So if you have an S-shaped figure, you ink it up. You rub it on the ink. It's an ink pad. Almost always is an ink pad, and then you just put it on paper and you mark the paper. It's not a marker, whatever. Because in my mind, markers are just sharpies and whatever. So, but then it's currently December 25th, whatever, December 25th, 2023. Okay, sorry for my accent. I am Brazilian, so I don't have great accent, and if I make any mistakes on grammar and speech, I'm sorry. That's all I'm saying. So, I got two fountain pens. One was the one that my mom got me, and one was the one that I felt I deserved. So, what did I do? I had to this point, at this point of in the storyline, I had been saving some money, and I got this money, and I entered on AliExpress, and I entered AliExpress, and I said, okay, I want to give myself a fountain pen. I want to give myself a gift. So what did I do? I bought a Lummy Dialogue 3 copycat. Yes, I can feel the judgment, but before you wish death upon me, let me just say that the Lummy Dialogue 3 in Brazil is prohibitive. Imagine that you had to pay $3,000 for a regular Let Me Dialogue 3. I'm not saying like, let me see, because in the US it's 360 plus taxes, whatever. I have been to both Lamy stores in the US, both San Francisco in 2021 and New York on August this year. So I have been on New York on August, September. It was September. So we went, me and my parents, we went to the Lamy store in New York. I ended up getting myself an All-Star because it was what we could afford at the moment. Because in Brazil, imagine that you had to pay like $3,000, $4,000 for a regular Lamy dialogue. So that's the ratio we're talking about here. For example, in the U.S., you get the minimum wage, what, $1,500, something like that. But this fountain will cost you 300 and something dollars. Granted that in the US you can do a lot more with $150 than you can do in Brazil with 150 reais. So, um, it's a different ratio for money over here and over there in the US. So, what did I do? I said, okay, I want this fountain pen because I like this pen. And I tested it on the store and I couldn't buy it because it was expensive. So what did I do? I went on AliExpress and I said, okay, it's a forgery, it's a crime, I know that. But I'm not a saint. I'm not a saint. So if I were, I'd be like, what? Saint Francis? No, I wouldn't. I'm not a saint. So I went over there and I bought myself a Lamy Dialogue 3 copycat, which is an LM Focus 3. So the one that my mom got me was also a retractable fountain pen, and it's the Moonman or Mahjon X1. So I'll show you them. I hope you can see this. I hope you can see this well. This is a pen case for only two pens. It has the storage of it has two pen slots, and I made this myself. Now you might be wondering, oh my god, do you work with leather? No, I don't. This is paper. This is paper for printing. This is printing paper with texture, with a leather texture. So what did I do? I just painted it up and glued it all together with some cardboard in the middle for it to be, stiff. So here we go. And I did even put a magnet, you know. I put a magnet over here. So I had to take a little bit of the paper from the magnet so they would stick together better. So and it's red on the outside, black on the inside. And let's take a look at this. Okay, now you can actually see that it's just a regular paper. It looks like paper on the inside. But so this is the Moonman X1, and this is the LM Focus 3 or the Lamy Dialogue 3. Now I'm just gonna close this back again, and I think that I will. Oh yeah, I'm gonna stay here, and then I'm just gonna put you guys over here so that you can get a good view of this. All right. Oh, god damn it! I did a little bit of a tragedy down here. Okay, guys, but I think you can see this well, right? Okay, so let me see. And yes, I'm currently standing on my freaking chair. So, well, I think that's gonna do. So, this is the pen case, And I'm just gonna go down and get the light closer, because I gotta have the light closer. So let me just get all of these electric wires and the extension all the way over here. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Listen up, guys. Just gonna put that freaking lamp over here. I have a lot of tangled wires over here, and it's driving me nuts. I'm just gonna untangle it. Okay, so I was thinking about editing these videos, but you know what? I don't think I'm going to, because I feel like these goofy moments are what make the videos, good, enjoyable, funny, whatever. So, let me see. I will get my ink over here just to store it, because this is what, a 18th century, no, I'd say 19th century writing station desk. It's an antiquity, granted. Yes, it is an antiquity. Sometimes speaking English feels like a tongue twister, but yes, it's an antiquity. Yes, I write letters, and yes, I use this writing station on the daily. So, I'm just gonna close this up. I'm gonna get my switchblade over here on top. And here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so. Oh God. Alright. Don't follow me, light. Don't follow me. Alright. Here's what I'm gonna do. I got my moleskin here. It's a Guggenheim special, or Guggenheim edition that I bought in the Guggenheim Museum when I was in New York. I write poetry. It's in Portuguese, but it's poetry. So, let me just show you what this is all about. So this is all poetry, all right? And it's December, and I bought this notebook on September, and I have other notebooks that I'm writing alongside this one. So this isn't the only notebook that I write poetry and stories on. So you get the idea. I write 3, maybe 4 poems each day, every day. And I've been doing so ever since the pandemics. I started being, I'm 19 years old. I got my first fountain pen when I was 12. And it's been just a writing journey since then. But I just got really into fountain pens, collecting and such, because I only had 4 fountain pens, or 3 fountain pens. But when the pandemics came, I thought to myself, okay, we're all gonna die, so I'm gonna get myself the most fountain pens that I can get. So in the beginning of 2021, and yes, I skipped quarantine to get fountain pens. I know I was a kid, and I'm not proud of myself, but I did it. So, in the beginning to middle to mid-year of 2021, I had 20 plus pens, 21, 22 pens. And it was really amazing, because in a few months I had so many pens and so many inks, and it was fantastic. So first I'm gonna show you the Moonman or Mahjon X1. I'm gonna close this back on. It's beautiful. I just find this really beautiful. So I'm gonna, whatever. I just find this beautiful. So I'm gonna store this over there. I hope you can see this. All right, I hope you can see this. Um, Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna leave the pen pouch to, double slot pen pouch, paper pen pouch, PPP. It's the triple P over here. So I'm just gonna cap it again because I did it off camera. So just get the light over here, and the light's not gonna stay. Is it gonna stay? Is it going to? I hope it's going to. Let me tough it up a real quick. It's going to. All right. Let me get a cloth because it's the silvery parts on this pen are just like fingerprint magnets. So I'm just gonna clean it up real quick. And also, the fingerprint magnet part of this pen is something that drives me mad because I like my pens looking like new right out of the box, and a pen full of grime and dirt and fingerprints and all that, it just doesn't seem new. It just seems weird. I'd say it seems weird, but it's all part of the deal. I knew it was gonna be a glossy pen with a glossy finish when I bought this. So, um, this is the Moonman X1, and for comparison, let me get. Where is it? Let me get my. I think it's over here. One of my Kavekos. I got 3 Kavekos, whatever. This is the first Kaveco I ever got, and the first fountain pen, pocket fountain pen that I ever got. So, you can see. Let me put them on the paper, side by side. So you can see that the Moonman or Mahjon X1 is just what, maybe a centimeter taller than the Cavaco when posted, when kept. So let's uncap it, and now it's the crazy funny. I love this part. So and the Finio has the Moonman symbol on it. I don't know if you guys will see it. It has the beautiful red color, ruby colored. I think it's zircon. Zirconia. Zircon. I saw this on AliExpress somewhere, but I'm not sure. So, and it's a petite fountain pen. So, and it takes like, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. Maybe it's less. Maybe it's 4.5. I don't know if I made complete turns. So you just see that now you have a cap and the pen body with no nib on it. But if you look over here, you see that there's a hole on it and you see a nib on it. So what are you gonna do? First of all, you have the ink compartment over here. So this mimics Mont Blanc Bohème, but it is completely legal. You know why? Because the Mont Blanc Bohème hasn't been in production for quite a few times, so it doesn't have copyrights anymore. So it's legal. It's a legal fountain pen. Legal, not illegal. A legal fountain pen. I know I sound a bit crazy, but I am just trying to be funny and make your day, fantastic. Let's do this. All right. Okay. Let's put it out. Oh, and I love this nib. I love the way it gets out. Okay, I love the way it just, it's just like, oh my god, it's just, I'm so shiny. Oh my god, there's someone out there. Come on, girl, get out of the house.
Okay, I'm just gonna try. Let me see. They're still there. Oh my god, they're still there. What do I do, girl? Get out! Okay. It's like a shiny, I feel like I can make a story with this. It's the shiny. It gets inside its hole when it is shy. So, and if you have it retracted and you cap the pen, it is also going to extend the nib. So, and yes, it aligns perfectly. Yes, victory. Okay, so uh, I'm gonna do some writing samples right now. Let me just. Okay. Alright. Escravos de Jó jogavam caxangá, tira a bota, deixa ficar. Guerreiros com guerreiros fazem zigue-zigue-zá. Guerreiros com guerreiros fazem zigue-zigue-zá. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna just turn this over so that you can see it well, so that you can see it better, right? I'm gonna put this here, I'm gonna put this here, and this here, and let me get the light closer. So this is my second video on YouTube, and I plan on making videos both in English and Portuguese. So I may have different audiences for the same content. So here we go. Okay, I'm writing all the way crooked. It's going down now. But quick. Brown fox. Jumps over the lazy dog. So I'm sorry, since I'm writing, all bent, it's getting, it's not, I'm not writing straight. So I think I'm just gonna do it more comfortably, and then I'll turn it over. Okay, so I don't even think that was on camera. So hope you guys can see this. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. This is the Mahjon or Moonman X1. As a matter of fact, let me just get that box real quick. It's a Moonman. Oh, okay. It's the same brand, but it's sold as a Moonman. So it came in this beautiful box. It's a red box. I love this box, and it says Moonman. So Moonman feel the temperature of writing. So I am going to call it a Moonman instead of calling it a Mahjon X1, because that's what it was sold as, Moonman. Even though it has changed its name to Mahjon or vice versa, I have no idea. So Mahjon Moonman X1 in extra fine. So it has an extra fine nib. Matter of fact, let me do a tongue twister that we have in Brazil. It's in Portuguese, so it's like Peter Piper picked a pack. I don't know. Let me try it again. I don't know how to speak today. So, and also it's what 10 in the morning, maybe 9. I think it's 9. I think it's 9 in the morning. So it's quite early, for a Christmas morning. But I'm sleepy. I didn't have my coffee yet, and I didn't have breakfast. So that adds up. So come on. I'm usually not hungry in the mornings anyway. So it's like Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, right? So, but it's in Portuguese. So over here, one of the tongue twisters we have is três pratos de trigo para 3 tigres tristes. Uh-oh, I made a mistake. Tristes. So, how do you translate that? Well, I'm gonna try to do my best. So, 3 plates of, how do you say trigo again in English? It's the thing that you make bread from. I forgot the name of the thing, but it's the thing that you make bread from. That golden plant. I forgot how you say that. So it's the white powder that comes from that and that you use to make. The trigo is actually the plant. Okay, trigo is the plant. Okay, yeah, it's the plant in a crop. In the crops, when you have that golden sea of that golden horizon of crops, with this thing that you make bread from, that's trigo. That's what we call it. But when you want to say that when you want to refer to the powder that you use to make bread in the kitchen or anywhere else, that's going to be farinha de trigo. And that's farinha is any sort of powder. If you have, if you get something, let me see, anything for that matter, you get that and in the kitchen, it's farinha, it's edible, so it's for you to eat. In this case, from the trigo, So, 3 plates of this thing that I do not know how to pronounce right now to say in English for 3 sad tigers. Now, I know that sounds dumb, but it's like Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. It's all about the sound, and it doesn't have to make sense. So, 3 pratos de trigo para 3 tigres tristes. It's something that it's a lot of R's, hard R's, it's like a freaking machine gun. It's hard for you to say it much more in, say it fast. It's hard. So, 3 pratos de trigo para 3 tigres tristes. You see, I wasn't able to say it. So, 3 pratos de trigo para 3 tigres tristes. I give up. Okay, I just give up. let me do some writing samples, okay, like some risks. So I find that this nib isn't an oriental extra fine, meaning that it isn't as extra fine as uh, an extra fine from Pilot or Sailor or Platinum would be. At least that's what I feel like. And this is moleskin, so it's good paper. You know, it's not just a weird paper. This is good paper. But it's still quite fine. I'd say that this is about the same width of my extra fine Lamy nib. I don't know where I have that. I cleaned it up. It's on my Lamy terracotta, you know. And I think I think I cleaned it up. I'm quite sure I cleaned it up. So let me just do this with a little pressure. So it gives it gives in just a bit, but it's barely noticeable. Like this, I just made with regular pressure, and these three were with some pressure on the downstroke. And the downstroke on this last one was just regular pressure, just like this one. And you can barely see a difference, you know, from these three to this one. Almost uh, uh, practically, practically, practically equal, you know, practically the same. I'm sure that you guys cannot see a difference. I can with my eye because I'm closer to the paper, you know, I'm closer to it. I have the light closer to it as well, but it still isn't a lot. It's barely even noticeable. So, and a few more strokes. It's a, it's a great nib, okay? It has a little bit of feedback. It isn't amazingly polished, you know, but it is a good nib. It's a good fountain pen. So, and it's quite wet, actually. Actually, I think that what makes this an Western extra fine and not a Asian or whatever extra fine is because of its wetness. This is really wet, and I love it. I enjoy it. Uh, and for those of you wondering, yes, you can write with it and post it. Now, I have pretty big pens, okay? I have big pens, but big hands. I'm sorry. It's currently morning. I haven't had my breakfast. I haven't had my coffee, my mug of coffee, you know, my coffee mug, whatever. Um, so I'm not thinking straight. So, again, okay? Yes, I have pretty big hands, you know, consistently big hands. I'm sorry for my big nails, okay? I'm gonna cut it up. It's not dirt in it, it's just ink. I have been fiddling with ink. You can see some red ink over here, all the way over here. I have been fiddling with ink, and so the ink gets under my nails. I have to cut them off. But it's not dirty, okay? My hands are pretty clean, but it's ink. So, and once ink gets on the nooks and crannies of your body, it won't get out easily. So, I have pretty big hands. Pretty big hands. And I can fit this comfortably in my hand without the cap posted. You know, it's a good pen. It's a good, solid, great sized pen. Now, the cap on this one, the silver one, the cap is made out of brass. It's just a thin brass. It isn't really heavy, but it adds some weight to it. Okay, so when I post it, I find that yes, it is longer and it's more, you know, it's more comfortable. Granted, it's more comfortable, but it's a little, I at least for me, it's a little back weighted. Okay. Now, some people might hate this. I actually like this. Like, depending on the situation, I love this. Also, depending on the situation, I might hate it. You never know. You never know. So, uh, uh, I currently find that I love this because I find that when my pens have some back weight to it, it makes it easier to control, so I do not have to grip it so hard. I just, because when I do an upper stroke, the weight over here does its thing, and then I just have to make sure that I will uh, um, counter the amount of the weight that's on the back, so I feel like I have more control over the pen than I when it has some back weight to it, then I think that I have with not non-back weighted. So doesn't mean that I specifically love or hate any one of those, but okay. So for comparison, I'm just gonna take this back on out, extend it again, and to compare the sizes. So you can actually see that the Kaweco is smaller. It's actually smaller, all right? But, and even the nib is smaller on the Kaweco than it is on the Moonman. So, oh, and also for comparison, cap sizes, okay, cap, the cap size, so you can see that it's quite different. And then we have the pens themselves and their sizes. I'm gonna get the cap over here just so that I can balance it. And so with the nib retracted, they're almost the same length, but when I extend it, it's bigger. Uh, so that's something that I like, This pen is versatile, meaning that it's a pocket pen sized fountain pen, enough so that it is only a hair bigger than a Kaweco Sport, But once you extend the nib, it's big. It's bigger at least than a Kaweco unposted. Both unposted, and when you post it, it's even bigger. It's still bigger than a Kaweco. So I love it. I love the versatility in size. Oh, and also for those wondering why I write so much "Hello there." Yes, yes, the nerds will get it. It's Star Wars, baby. It's the sent. It's what Obi-Wan says um to General Grievous on Revenge of the Sith. I guess it's Revenge of the Sith. That he goes to. Is it Geonosis? No, it's not Geonosis. I forgot the name of the planet, but it was a planet in which General Grievous was hiding. And when he finally finds General Grievous, he just jumps. He just jumps from a big structure, falls behind him, and says, "Hello there." And then General Grievous turns. So this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. My hands are Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is General Grievous. So General Grievous is facing that way. Obi-Wan jumps, falls behind him, and says, "Hello there." And then General Grievous turns his back No, turns to face Obi-Wan Kenobi and says, General Kenobi, you are a bold one. Kill him! And then the fight starts, and Obi-Wan kills General Grievous. I could maybe write "do it," I don't know. I could maybe write "do it," or uh, maybe even how how's the sentence? Um, I don't remember it correctly, but I'm gonna say it like I think it is. Okay, so you have "hello there," and then you have "do it," and then you have the um to do or not to do. There is no try. Ah. So, and yes, I do like to impersonate characters, to do some impressions. To do or not to do. To do or not to do. There is no try. So, yes, I'm a bit of a nerd. And yes, I'm trying to make an impression of Stewie. And I don't think that I'm nailing it, but I'm trying. So, to do or not to do, there is no try. There is no try. I could do some other sentences, but I just find that the hello there, the greetings from Space Jesus, also known as hello there from Obi-Wan Kenobi, suits me well. So, and also, here's how it fits in my hand. So I have big hands. Here's how it fits in my hand, unposted. And here's how the Kaweco fits in my hand. So it's quite small. It's quite small. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the LM Focus 3. I hope that I am not running into a really, really, really long video. I hope that I'm not making a very long video, but if I am, I hope you guys are patient enough to watch this and maybe even to hear this as sort of a podcast, something that you do here while while you do your stuff at home. So let me just okay, just getting rid of the leather fibers. They get everywhere. So this is the Lummy Copycat, and I don't know if you see this, but it actually has a Lummy logo on the pen and on the nib and on the nib and on the pen's converter. It says Lummy right here, and it says Germany right on this side. I'm not sure you'll be able to see this, but I'm actually impressed that such a pen that has no brand, because it's just a Lummy copycat. It's not like a Mahjon or Jinhao or Pen BBS, It doesn't belong to a specific brand. It's just a Lummy copycat. Now, I have tested the Lummy Dialogue 3, the original one, on the store, and it was actually the matte black version of it. So I bought the same pen that I tested on the store, at the store. And yes, it has the same weight, and it has the same it has the same weight, and it feels the same in the hand. The finish is the same. Yes, it's not a lummy, so it's not perfect, but this is actually quite a solid pen for a copy, you know, for $40 copy. Actually, I paid $35 with taxes and shipping. So the pen itself was like $25, maybe 28. So this is actually quite impressive for a fountain pen like this, that doesn't belong to a specific brand and that, that is a copy. It's actually quite impressive to me. And it works. It works and it writes fantastically well. It has a somewhat springy nib. It's a very wet nib, and it's really polished. It's an amazing pen, and I love. It's heavy. It's a really heavy pen. But then you say back weighted? No, it's well distributed, even for a copycat made in China fountain pen, a cheap fountain pen that I feel like it suits me just as well as an original Lummi Dialogue 3 or Lummi Dialogue CC would do. Now, this doesn't mean that I do not like Lummi enough for me to buy an original. If it was available, uh, uh, um, and I'm talking about money here, if it wasn't so goddamn expensive, I would buy it. And I would buy 3 fountain pens like this. If it wasn't if it wasn't uh, um so expensive, I would get my money and I would save up to buy an original Lamy Dialogue 3, but I can't. It's too expensive. I can't. I can't. So what do? I resort to AliExpress. And this is amazing, let me tell you that. So, again, I said I have pretty big hands, and this is a big pen. It has what? 13 and a half, maybe 14 centimeters in length, with the nib retracted, like so. Like this, it has like almost 14 centimeters of length. And I'm talking about centimeters. I'm sorry, I do not know how to measure in inches and feet or whatever. So, and also because Americans use uh, uh, feet and pounds and a different kind of system, while the rest of the world uses a metric system. So I'm sorry, guys, we won. We won by majority. So if there are any Americans over there, I'm sorry. And so, by the way, remember that I said that I had been using some marker ink. This is the one that's in this pen. It's a marker ink. It's for you to use on a marker. It's not a marker, but I don't know how to say it. So you remember what I said. This is it. So, and it's a really, really, really dark black ink, and I love it. I love it so much. It's a really deep black, deep, deep, deep black color. So, and I love that. Now, again, this is the Lamy Dialogue 3 Copycat. Or, as it's marketed, LM Focus 3. So that's how That's how it's marketed on AliExpress. It's the LM Focus 3, and I'm gonna make separate videos on these, so because this is gonna be quite a long video. I feel like it's already on 15 minutes. Let me check. Let me retract it so it won't dry up on me, because this is somewhat, yeah, 51 minutes. Okay, I have